I'm going to come back now to what is cloud computing. This is your traditional enterprise data center full of racks, real estate, power, cooling, generator, etc. And what you really do in cloud is you outsource. You give it all away. And where do you give it away? Obviously, you have to give it away somewhere. You give it away to these massive data centers, which Amazon, Google, and other companies have created. And you may be surprised to hear this. You may be surprised to hear this, that Amazon has about 1 million servers. That's 10 lakh servers in their data center. They buy electricity cheaper. They buy land cheaper. They get a great deal on the hardware that they buy. They get a great deal on the software that they buy. It's just economy of scale. The huge economy of scale is there when they do that. That's why it's cheaper for them to do it. If you go out and buy this stuff, it's going to be expensive. So what happens? Look at this figure. What happened to the data center? You see that big, huge rack? What became of it? It just became very small and tiny. Why? How did that happen? You just outsourced everything away, except your core functions. You only keep the things which you cannot give away because of regulatory or security issues. And we'll talk about security as well. You only keep that, which is your core function, and you can give away everything else and outsource it. And you save, obviously, on power, cooling, etc. And you achieve business agility. What does that mean? We'll just talk about that. Okay, now let's talk about advantages of cloud computing. So now we really need to say, okay, fine, this is very exciting, nice new concept. It's great, outsource the IT function away, it's a headache anyway. So what advantage will you get as a CFO? Just have a look. You outsource your IT function, you focus on your core business, you'll be amazed how much time we spend in our board meetings, in our procurement, in our negotiations where the CFO gets involved. There's a massive amount of time that is wasted in organizations because we are buying IT and trying to run IT the traditional way. You focus on your core business, you minimize the IT capex. Capex can be expensive. Capex can have a better use. Why spend capex when you have an OPEX model? Pay as you grow and add new infrastructure capacity quickly. Add it now. Like I said, 1,000 servers, credit card, go to Amazon.com right now. You can get 1,000 servers working for you in a few minutes. Consider the time to market. Consider the huge opportunity that business now has, and there is no barrier to entry. Anybody can do this. You can buy small, you can scale up as you want. It's elastic. Let's talk more about this. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is a revolution going on. There is a revolution going on, and in other parts of the world, this is shaking IT. We are yet to feel the tremors in this part of the world, but that's something that we're working on to create awareness. It's a disruptive technology. 40 billion, B with a B, B for boy, $40 billion of business was done in cloud in 2011. In 2012, the projection is 60. This is a paradigm shift from traditional computing. Cloud computing is a business and economic model. This is the very reason that it was created. It was because of you guys, because you want a more dynamic, agile, and cost-effective spending and way to run IT. It challenges our assumptions about everything, and it's driving a new macroeconomic reality. So cloud is the foundation of a new revolution, industrialization of IT. Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about the characteristics, because you need to go talk to the CIO tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, and have a discussion, look into his eyeballs and say, what are you doing about cloud? So you need to know a little bit more about what the characteristics are. Excuse me. 3 cloud computing characteristics, little bit like utility, like the electricity we plug in. In Lahore, we have very heavy load shedding, so there is no electricity practically. But out here, I hope that there is electricity. When you plug something in, you will actually switch on your computer or something, whatever you're using. 3 cloud characteristics. It's elastic. Elastic means you can make it big, you can make it bigger and smaller as you want. Elastic. The second characteristic, it is metered. It is measured. Like I told you, whatever you use, you pay for that. If you use less, you pay for less. If you use more, you pay for more. And it is sold on demand. You increase or decrease whenever you want to. So those are the 3 cloud computing characteristic. Elastic, metered, and sold on demand. Now there are different deployment models, and you need to know some of this. Private just means that you can just do it for your own company. Public means that it's for the entire community. Anybody can use it. And hybrid is a little bit of a mix. You can set up your own cloud, which only your bank will use, and it's closed, or you can use some services from public as well. So you can also mix and match. That's the hybrid. Private, public, and hybrid. And I'd like to leave, with, as far as technical issues are concerned, just, this is the last slide, and then I will talk about finance issues. Infrastructure as a service, this really means, this is where you start off when you're talking about cloud. You can go and buy servers, you can go and buy storage, you can go and buy processing power. This is the server, this is a computer, this is when you want to run your application, it's infrastructure as a service. Platform as a service is used by software developers. So they need some hardware, and they need some software stack running on top of it. Some Java, something else. That is platform as a service. And this is extremely popular with software houses now. Software houses are doing their entire development on the cloud. And the case study I will show you is going to be demonstrating that as well. Okay. And then we have software as a service. How many people use either Google, Yahoo, or Gmail? Can you raise your hand? It's almost everybody in the hall. Do you know that you are actually using these services from the cloud? They are running in cloud data centers. What are the characteristics? When I use Yahoo, I open a web browser and I start using it. Is my data sitting on my laptop or my computer? No. Is the software on my computer? No. Do I need to buy anything? No. So that's the characteristic. And all of you, incidentally, are already using the cloud. Like I said, all of these services are already in the cloud. Facebook is running from the cloud. LinkedIn is running from the cloud. Okay, let's move on. So software, that's software as a service. Software as a service. You just go and buy the software. And ERP systems are available. You just go there online. You just buy the licenses. You don't need to buy the software. You don't need 6 months to import the hardware. You don't need to buy the servers. You just go online onto Amazon, Google, or hundreds of companies, Salesforce.com, and you buy as many licenses you want. And the next day you can double them if you like. Okay, so just buy the license for Oracle or for example your ERP system. Okay, this is a graph, and this is very interesting. I want to show you this because this is interesting for CFOs. This is the storage capacity on the y-axis. This is how much, this is computing capacity rather. This is time. And Amazon has created this graph showing how we use traditional IT and what's wrong with it. Have a look. This green graph, there's a business and it wants to launch a software. And around this, we have traditional hardware. So what we do is, this is the hardware we buy traditionally. We buy capacity, then we increase and upgrade. It takes a lot of time. It takes 6 months to do the upgrade. 6 months to do the upgrade, but then suddenly you have more capacity. Then you keep that capacity for 6 months, and then you shoot up and get another upgrade. Then you keep that capacity and then you shoot up and do another upgrade. So that's the traditional way, and it's a long procurement cycle. Long, painful, laborious procurement cycle. And there's a large capital expenditure in traditional data centers. Now this is once the company rolls out the software, it could be mobile banking, there is an actual usage graph. This is the red graph. Now look what's happening here. The red graph, look at the relation between the red graph and the blue graph. I hope that you can see this. Right? Till now it's still under the blue. So the actual usage is still under what you have. The blue is what you have in the data center. But look over here, look what happened here suddenly, unfortunately. The red graph went over the blue. This means you don't have the capacity and the customers are asking for it.